What's going on, everyone? It's time for another horror thriller film review. Now, I reviewed the first 5 of these a while back, a couple years ago, so might as well do the newest one. Final Destination Bloodlines. This is the 6th Final Destination film, and it was released earlier this year in 2025. It's directed by Zach Lipovsky and Adam Stein. Now, Zach Lipovsky did films like Freaks. He also did Kim Possible for Disney. But he also did Leprechaun Origins, which I actually have a review for on here, and Dead Rising Watchtower. Adam Stein also worked with Zach on Freaks and the Kim Possible movie, but he also did a few things on his own, like On the Lot and Forever Boys. So this is a horror thriller. Now, if you remember how bad the 5th Final Destination is, my expectations weren't that high. I thought they were going to at least try, which they sort of did in this. So this is about a group of friends who, a family who basically is relatives of someone who saw a premonition in the 60s in the beginning of the film. And then, they start weird, dangerous things start happening to them. So the older sister starts looking into it and then uncovers the bloodline trail of the death's hunt for them and planning their outcome and trying to predict who's going to die next, with everyone thinking she's crazy, but then everyone ends up dying around her. So this was a interesting concept, and the concept in this was actually pretty good. I actually thought that was a pretty clever idea to make a sequel around. Now, if you quit focusing on family drama and actually focusing on some of the more plot development sections, this would have been a little bit better. So there's a lot of bickering between characters, especially the first half of this movie. And and the story itself wasn't bad, but it wasn't that great as well. It kind of had like a B movie feel to it, but they definitely really tried to make it different, and you could see that. Which, if they took out the psycho aunt grandmother person from the premonition, this one would have been a little bit better. Maybe they could have just learned it and told it all in flashback. Also, speaking of flashbacks, they flashback to the opening scene like 4 times in this. Why? We saw it 20 minutes before this and you flash back to it. I don't think people are that dumb. Well, actually, thinking now people have TikTok and they can't even stay focused on that. So, okay, you're forgiven for that. But still, why does every movie have to have flashbacks from something in the beginning that happened like 20 minutes before? It's so stupid. Also, this has quick cuts like in the old Saw movies, which is pointless. And now, let's get to the kills and deaths of it. Oh, first, characters. Most of them are paper thin and waste of time. Didn't really care for any of them. The story, like I said, it's interesting, but still could have been way better. Now, effects. So they did use practical effects in some of this stuff, which I saw in the behind the scenes stuff, which looked good. Why the hell would you pull a thing and redo it all in CG and make it look 10 times more shit? Like, come on. You spent all that money to make practical effects. Keep it in the film. Like, it's more realistic. It's better. I'm sick and tired of watching cartoons and modern movies. Like, come on, people. Like, what's wrong with the film industry these days? Well, the whole world's fucked these days anyway, so I'm not surprised. But still, like, some of the deaths, like, there is some pretty cool ones. Like, the garbage truck scene was hilarious. The MRI scene was so unrealistic, but it's hilarious. Also, it looked like they shot this for 3D or something, because there's a lot of, like, things heading towards the camera, which is kind of pointless and stuff. Overall, I wasn't a huge fan of this. I think this is the 2nd worst out of the whole franchise. 5th one obviously being probably the worst, or whatever one has a racetrack opening. That one was definitely the worst. But this in the movie theater scene and stuff, that one still is the worst. This one's probably 2nd worst. I was not a huge fan of this. I thought it was okay at best. And it is gory and stuff, and it did have a metalhead with a good song by Evil in there, who has one of the most retarded deaths in the whole franchise, but still, there's still some amusing value to it. So I'm going to give Final Destination Bloodlines probably a 2 out of 5. It was pretty bad, pretty hard, long sit through, and the deaths are too far apart, and you could have did way better. Tony Todd cameo was good, even though he was sick at the time, but still, it kind of just felt shoehorned in there. So yeah, but I'm not sure whether this is streaming or anything, so I'll just link the trailer down below. Also, make sure you check out my Instagram. That's linked down below. So I post clips of films I'm going to review in the future on my stories. You put the film title in there and some film factor history thing in there as well. Also, my Letterbox down below, Dairy Peer Reviews. That's where I post my first star rating after watching the films. And my Twitter's down below at reviews_there. So follow me on those platforms. Stay in the loop with this channel. Like this video. Share it so more people aware of it. Comment your opinions of the film down below if you have any. And if you also let me know what your favorite Final Destination film is. And if you have any films or film franchises in any genre and on any streaming service that you want to hear my opinions on in the future, comment those down below too. I'll try my best to get to them as soon as I can and if I can find them. Make sure you subscribe. Hope you find something weird together that probably never thought of checking out together. And also, so hear my opinions on popular films. I've come out classic films and reviews on other things as well. And don't forget to ring that bell because, well, we are going to be talking about a comedy in the next film review. Palm Springs. Yeah, I'm going to talk about rom-com in the next review for a change. So make sure you tune in for that. Watch out for all those people having premonitions of their own deaths that actually happen. And because, well, we should know. And I guess I'll see you all in the next review. So until then, cheers.